click of ribbon button. Okay, ribbon means understood, right? The top area. Button, send email to the contact. Okay, so that is the task which we need to perform. So to perform this task, what all are the steps we need to take? First we'll write down that, so that it would be easy for us to do, right? So first thing what we need to do, we should have a button, right? So we will go in reverse manner actually. Let me write down first what it is written over there. On click of the button, right? So first what we need to do, we need to create a button. Okay, how to create a button, you know, right? And then after creating the button, what we need to do, after creating the button, we need to create an action. Okay, create an action to send email. And then after call that action using JavaScript. Okay, so step by step we will see what I am doing. I am not going to create a button right now. Why? Because if I create a button, then again I need to, for assigning a function, again I need to load it, or it takes lot much time, right? So that is the reason I will create button later. First what I will do, first I will create an action. After creating the action, I will call that action using JavaScript. Understood? So we'll create an action as we specifically require for contact entity, right? So we'll create action for contact entity, right? Otherwise it will send email for all the entities, but that we don't want, right? Only for contact. So that is the reason specifically we'll create an action for contact entity, which will send an email to current contact by current user. Understood? How it is, that I'm going to show you. Okay, so let me create an action first. So to create an action, what we'll do, we'll go to advanced settings. And then solutions, and here is our solution, right? And then here in the processes, next, and here we'll write what we want. On click of button, send email, right? That is our action. What is the category? Action, right? And the entity is contact.
Multiple entities.
Multiple we cannot select. Either you can select none or either one. Okay. If you want for multiple entities, then you need to create again for another entity. Okay, so this is the action. Suppose what you want, subject, you want that user should pass the subject. Okay, understood? So what we will do right now, here we will click on plus button. Okay, argument we created, what it is, subject. So once we will call it, at that time we will be passing the subject. Okay, what would be the data type for subject? String, right? And it will be input parameter, right? And then after here you can add this step over here. Add a step. What is the step? Step is send email, right? We'll select this, send email. Like this multiple operations you can perform, right? You can create the record, you can update the record, you can assign also. So on click of the button, suppose assign record button is there, what it will do, you already see that assign button, what exactly it do, it will internally call some particular process only. Once you click on assign, then it will call some process and it will assign, correct? So email, right? Here now we create the email. So from whom? From the current contact, right? So right now owner, okay, from the owner of the record. Understood? Owner would be an user, right? From the owner to whom? To a contact. Understood? So from the owner to the contact. Understood? Now subject. What subject you wanted to give? We wanted to keep the subject in what we have created arguments, right? Input argument we create subject. What we want, whatever the person is writing in this in that while he pass the value, whatever the subject he writes, that should come over here. Understood? And now here we can write the message. So we can write hi. Here we want that contact name should appear, right? So again here we can select this particular here contact entity, and here name should be there. We can select the first name of the contact. First name, where it is. Okay. So what will happen? Contact first name. Why I am writing this? Because if whatever the user you select, accordingly their name would be appearing. If you hard code it, or if you write Ram, then for all the emails Ram only would be coming, which is not correct, right? Whatever the contact is there, that name should appear, right? That is the reason that is how we are giving a dynamic values. What we are giving? Dynamic values. According to the user it will change. Understood? If it is not changing, means it is static. Whenever you say dynamic, means simple thing. Dynamic means which will be changing according to the situation. Okay? Understood? In any context, if you talk about dynamic, means it changes according to the situation. Static means it would be static, it will not change. Okay? Remember that. After that, here now you want like this is to inform you that your service is going to expire, or something, some message you can write. Okay? And regards, here also we want the name of the owner should come. Okay? So what you can do, you can select that particular here contact, and here you can select the owner if it is available. Owner is not available, this is there na, owner, right? First name of the owner. Okay, owner. So if you want only one should get added, remove one. Okay, then one will get added. Understood? Now we've configured the email. Now we are saving and closing it. So that is how we created an email. Okay, that would be the same process wherever you create. If you wanted to create an action, or you wanted to create an workflow, or you wanted to do it in a dialogue, the way would be same. Understood? After that, what we want now, first step is done. We have created a action, right? What is the name of the action? EMS on click of send email, right? Now we will save it and we'll activate it. Okay, after that what we need to do? We need to call that action, because we need to write a JavaScript function, and that function we need to call it in a ribbon button, right? So what we need to do? We need to create a web resource, right? Where we can paste our JavaScript code, right? So for that, let me activate it. So the action part is over now, right? Till now what we have done, we have seen all separately. Now we are combining all the features what we have learned, right? Like how do we call action, second how do we write JavaScript, and how do we create button. These are three different things which we have seen in different topics, right? Now we have combined all those three to achieve one task. That is how you would be working in a companies also. It would not be like you say like I know JavaScript, so JavaScript would be only separate and JavaScript will come separately or plugins will come separately. No, all the combinations you would be working on. Sometimes it would be simple, but sometimes it can be complex also. Okay, so you should be ready for all. That is what it is, rest builder. Okay, so it would be easy and it will save your time to write. Okay, so you can do your task quickly. How you can do that? So for that, first we need to import a rest builder. So we'll click on import, we'll choose the file. Here I should have rest builder. It should be managed. Rest builder is not appearing here. Let me search then. Here rest builder is there. No. Then downloads only it should be. Okay. Manage.zip. So like this. We can import it. After importing, you can close it, and what you can do, you can just refresh it. So here one more tab you will see, that would be your rest builder. Okay, rest builder, click on that, and here you can select the configuration what you want. Action, right? So here what we will be doing, we will select action here. Okay, and then after so we'll select asynchronous only, because now synchronous operation in JavaScript are going to get deprecated. Okay, so that is the reason we are selecting asynchronous. Okay, and then after which entity we want the action, contact entity, right? So we will select that contact entity. Okay, so here we will see all the actions which are there in contact. So this is out of the box action, the GDPR of product, GDPR output contact. Okay, this is predefined action, right, which is already created by Microsoft, right? Microsoft Dynamics Network, MSDN. Okay, so this is what we created, right? So we'll select our action. Okay, after that, here we need to pass the record GUID. Okay, right now we don't have a GUID, so what we will be doing, current GUID we will be getting. Okay, how do we will be getting the GUID? Here, see, here we need to pass the subject, right? Because that subject we are passing over there. So here we will write that reminder. Reminder regarding service. Okay, that is the value. So your subject would be this. After that, once we click on create request, here we need to pass the GUID of the current contact. Okay, understood? Here this should be replaced. So what we can do, we'll go to the code editor, and here only we will edit that. Okay, we will write down the code to get the GUID. Okay, understood what I am trying to say? So we have learned, right, how do we get the current contact ID? How do we will get xrm dot page dot how? How do we will get the current contact ID? So it will give you the ID of a current contact. So that will come with the practice. How I remember, it is not like I'm something who mastered it. It is like practice. Dot get ID. Okay. So I think this is the function. Understood? So this contact ID here, right? Here we need to pass that ID. In this also it will be coming, I think, in the double brackets. Okay. So we need to replace those brackets. So what we can write, dot to string correct, so that we are making sure there should not be any error. Okay. So what we'll write, we are xrm dot page, right? Directly if you run on console by opening the CRM form, then you would be able to see, okay, whether what we are writing is correct or not. This is what we write, data dot entity dot get ID, right? So rather than googling, here also you can search your correct function. Okay, what it will return, it will return you the ID with double this brackets, right? Whereas we need not to pass the brackets. If you see here we do not have any brackets, right? So here once your ID would be coming, it should be without curly brackets, right? So what we need to do now, we need to remove the curly bracket. How we can remove it? Here this is your ID, right? Here we can write dot to string, okay, then it is correct, to string, then dot replace what you wanted to replace. You wanted to replace this bracket with null, means empty string. Okay, now if you enter, then what will happen? It is removed from front, right? Again, what you want now, again you wanted to replace. I'm showing you by executing so that you can see the result live, how it will be appearing and how it will get passed over there. Okay, replace here. Understood? Now that is the exact format we want, correct? Here these two brackets are not there, so what exactly we need to pass is this line, right? This line we need to store into the variable. So let me copy it and let me paste it here, right? So this will give us the exact desired result. Okay, so instead of this, now I can, what I can do, I can delete it, and after putting double plus here I can write contact ID, right? Understood? So what it is exactly, it would be giving me okay. So now what it is there, we have just added the contact ID here, right? Till here what we have done, we have made it string. This is also string here to here, and in the middle we have appended by a variable, okay, which contains this particular value of a GUID. Understood? That is how it will go for a current contact. Why we need to pass a current contact GUID? Because we want that email should go for this contact only, right? So how it will come to know that which contact email should get forwarded? For that, we are passing GUID of current contact. Understood? Is it clear? Now we have a function created, right? Now what we can do, we can copy this code. After copying the code, what we need to do, or let me create function also here itself, right? We have not created a function, so write down here function, what it is, call action, right? This is my function name. Okay, this is what we need to pass into our button. Okay, now I have created this, and now I am calling the, I have copied the code, and now what I need to do, I need to create a web resource, right, where I can put this JavaScript. Understood? So here I came, and I came to a web resource, and I'm clicking on new. Okay, I'm creating a new web resource. What it is, it is call action, right? Because this particular JavaScript is calling my action. Okay, so only call action is not, because we are not putting only one script here. We can, in this web resource, we can keep thousands of functions, right? And each function can be of separate purpose, right? One web resource is a collection of thousands of functions, so each function can have for a different purpose. Calling action is only one purpose. Like this, we can create multiple functions, and we can keep in the resource. Every time for a small task, we will not create a web resource again and again, because it occupies the memory, right? So what we'll give it a generalized name. Okay, that is what I am telling you. Okay, so for contact entities, so what we will do, for contact, we'll create one particular web resource. Okay, all the functions related to a contact entity we will put in this file only. Understood? Like this, for each entity, maximum we will create one resource, so that it would be easy for us to find out also. Okay, until unless it is too much required, we will not create multiple resources for each entity. Okay, understood? It will be unique because EMS prefix is there. So earlier also for contact entity, if in other solutions you would have created, it will not be a problem, right? So here again, you can give the same display name here, in the display name also, EMS contact. Okay, and here type you can select what it is, JavaScript, right? And here you can select your editor, and you can paste directly here, because we have copied from there. Directly I'm pasting. Second way, what it is, you can go to a Visual Studio, and from there you can deploy, and directly from there also you can create a resource, which process I have shown you earlier when we have discussed about JavaScript, right? As it is quick fix, I'm doing quickly this, right? Now your resource is created. If you click on this URL, then you would be able to see that. Okay, now you can save it, and then after you can publish this. After publishing, your resource is created. Now we'll move forward for third step. What is the third step? We need to create a button, and then on click of that button we need to call this function, right? How do we do that? That also I'll tell you. So now I came here in the not REST builder, this ribbon button, right? Ribbon workbench. Here we need to select our solution. This is our solution, employee management system, right? In that we should have an entity called contact, right? If we have a contact entity, or I guess we should have contact. It's not loaded properly. It takes lot much time to get loaded. There should be less entities and less components, otherwise it takes lot much time to load it. So what I am doing in this new solution means, which is empty, right? In that I am adding my contact entity. Okay, and now I will load this solution. Okay, so it would be easy and it will get loaded. We just want the solution and in that entity. Two chapatis. Okay, so it is loaded because less entities are there. So here contact. Okay, and like this, if 3-4 entities are there, those entities also will appear. Okay, but we want in contact only, so we selected contact. Okay, like that, what we want to create a button. So this button beside the new I am creating. Okay, what is the button name you want to give? Send email, right? Send notification. Okay, okay. Here if you wanted to keep some alternative text, tooltip, title, all I am keeping same. Okay, here you can select the image also, whatever you want. Okay, or if you want some new email should be there, then what you should do, you know, if you want some new image should come, then you need to create a resource, and in that you need to, I have selected JavaScript, right? While creating resource you need to select PNG or JPEG, whatever you want. Okay, and then you need to upload that. Here it is, send email. Okay, now what we want on click of the button what should happen. For here we have defined the button properties, how button will look. Okay, or what symbol will appear in that. After that we want that on click of the button what should happen, right? So that should come in the commands. Okay, in the command you click on plus. So here you have the action. Okay, click on add action. What you want? JavaScript action, right? Because you want JavaScript should get performed. What, which function, which script, web resource you wanted to load, that is only we created. In that, which function? Call action, right? That is the function name. So pass your function name here. Okay, and that's it. After passing it, this is not sufficient. After that, what you need to do, go to your button. Okay, and here select the, in the command select this command. Okay, understood? If you don't select this, then your button will not appear also. Okay, at least one command should be there for a button. Okay, after that publish it. All work is done. Now publish. That is the reason I suggested you to, once you create a function, then only open this, because it takes too much time to get loaded. Now you have a function ready to give it, right? After creation of the button, so it is worthful. Now what we can do, we can come to our contact, right? So here we can open any contact record, right? So we have opened the contact record, and here we should have a button called send notification, right? Once you click on this, then what should happen? Email should get forwarded, right? So here you see email came to this particular user, right? This is what we have written. This is to inform you that you have that is different actually. That is related to a registration, right? Maybe we have written some other workflow. Let me try again. Maybe. Yes, one more new activity, right? This you can see. This is right. Came. Your service is going to expire, right? So it is triggering, right? Again, we can try even more. We can try for no. Let me try for Mona Lisa. Right now, if we see, this mail is on 16th of August once we created the record, right? That is the email. Till now, no email and no activity, right? Now, if I click on send notification, okay, then after, actually it is asynchronous, right? So I'm refreshing. After refreshing, we should be able to see new activity came. New activity, what it is? Reminder, right? So one click of the button, you are able to send the email, correct? So that is how we perform.